And welcome back, folks. Sorry about the long delay there. We are having problems with Wi-Fi today. Bad timing, eh? So I'm gonna start all over here again. We're on part 3 now, continuing with the Pleiadians. We're on number 11 for the traits on discussing. Here are the signs that suggest that you could be a Pleiadian. We're going over the 22 major signs. We are now on number 11. So we will be going through number 11 to 22. So number 11, strong aversion to harm and violence. You can't stand seeing or hearing cruelty in any form, even behavior many would deem acceptable. Examples, seeing animals in a zoo, that rattles you to the core. That you can't understand how people can be so cruel to one another, to animals, and to Mother Earth, or aka Mother Gaia. Number 12. Good with children and animals. Children and animals are naturally drawn to your calming and inviting aura. You feel like you can communicate with them via nonverbal means. They can naturally pick up on your innocent and childlike energy. Number 13. Extremely skilled healers. You consider yourself a natural healer. You may have a soothing presence, warm hands, a deep understanding of others. Despite not having lived through their experiences, you're able to find creative, out-of-the-box solutions to their problems. Number 14. Understands polarity of balance. Example, yin, yang, light, dark. Pleiadian starseeds, despite being predominantly feminine, recognizes when there's an imbalance. You understand that there can't be light without dark, yin without yang, good without dark. That one cannot exist without the other. You realize that they are crucial to understanding when to embrace the change. Number 15. May suffer with generalized anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem when out of alignment or in pre-awakening stage. Starseeds in general may suffer from this one when you are too bogged down in the trials and tribulations of everyday life and its stressors and forgetting who you are at the core. You are likely to suffer from some anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. This is the same for those who haven't gone through a spiritual awakening yet, too. 16. Gentle in nature. Pleiadians carry an old, gentle energy. It can be likened to a grandmother's nurturing aura. Number 17. Often to their own detriment, Pleiadian starseeds are people pleasers. Their gentle, loving energy can be taken as being weak in a highly masculine society. One lesson Pleiadians must learn is that no is a complete sentence. If you are going to suffer because of it, you shouldn't have to do it. 18. Perfectionist, and this is one of my favorites as an Orion myself here. Perfectionist really goes in hand with being an Orion or a Pleiadian. This goes hand in hand as well, though, with the people pleasing. You're likely a perfectionist and will spend hours fussing over little intricate details that don't really matter. Big thing for me. Another lesson for Pleiadians is to remember to see the bigger picture in life. Please remember that. So if you are a perfectionist, it's very likely that you are a Pleiadian, and if you are a Pleiadian, the other lesson for you is to remember to see the bigger picture in life. 19. You may be drawn to roles that involve mental, social, or environmental healing. Now think writing, counseling, psychology, environment, ecology, or social advocacy. You might be drawn to roles such as a writer, a counselor, ecologist, a social worker, a nurse, a biologist, a teacher, a mental health advocate, etc. Typically, you'll like roles that contributes to a better, healthier, and kinder world. Number 20. And this goes for those that like astrology. You may be a water sign. If you're a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, because of their highly emotional and sensitive nature, Pleiadian starseeds are likely to have a lot of water placements in their natal chart. Example, Sun, Moon, Rising, and South Nodes signs. Number 21. You may be drawn to water and marine animals if originally from Lemuria. Now, it's believed that Pleiadians were excuse me. It's believed that Pleiadians were one of the first beings to populate the long-lost land of Lemuria. Now, for those that don't know, Lemuria was said to be a water continent on Earth, full of marine animals. Now, you might love dolphins and whales in particular if you were a Pleiadian. So, can I contact the Pleidaians? Yes, of course you can. The best way to reach them is by tuning into your internal body or soul system with their frequency. The one thing to note, though, is that which confuses many people here is that Pleiadians are not people. Okay, they're beings. They're not human beings, they're actual alien beings. If you were to travel to the Pleiades constellation, you would not find a group of people living in a civilization like ours. No. What I'm really referring to when I talk of the Pleiadians is Pleiadian energy. If you were to contact the Pleiadians, you are contacting and communicating with an energy field, often referred to as the P field, Pleiadian field for short. Interestingly, though, this energy field can interact with you in any matter or form that's comfortable to you and the Pleiadians. It's why many associate Pleiadian energy with an angel-like being or a ball of blue light that comes to them in their dreams or a half-waking state. It will show up in the most comforting way possible to you as an individual. You might think that contacting extraterrestrial energy is scary, but remember, you're not reaching out to aliens. They may be aliens, but you're not reaching out to an alien, but rather your star family. They are your closest kin in the universe. They are not hostile and unfriendly as the mass media portrays ETs to be. They are friendly and lovable. Pleiadians' love is unconditional. It holds no threat to you. They demand nothing of you and withholds no appreciation from you. So what do Pleiadian starseeds look like? Well, this is a good question, and it is highly controversial in the spiritual community. You might have read that Pleiadian starseeds in Scandinavian look by nature with blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin, etc. And some of them are. But I don't think this is true entirely. This concept came from a book written in the 1970s by a channeler who saw the Pleiadian energy in a human format. Like I said earlier, this energy can come to you in a way that's comfortable for you. This is an individual interpretation, not a generic feature of the Pleiadians. I don't believe a soul looking for expansion and ascension, here to perform a beautiful mission, would choose a body based on its features and looks. Soul energy is not fickle. It's not caught up in the 3D nature of life. Souls are matched to a body, a vessel, if you like, based on its genetic blueprint, its karma, and predetermined life experiences. Tall, short, dark, light, fat, thin. Any person can have Pleiadian energy within their DNA. Now, the Pleiades in ancient Greek mythology has a beautiful and creative story as to how the Pleiades came into existence. It's said that the 7 bright stars commonly seen within the Pleiades represent the 7 daughters of Titan, Atlas, and the oceanoid Pleione. The daughters were pursued by an aggressive hunter named Orion until Zeus, worried for their safety, transformed them into a cluster of stars so they couldn't be found. Now, can I see the Pleiades cluster? Yes, of course. Also known as the Seven Sisters and Messiah 45. The Pleiades is found within the Taurus constellation. roughly about 440 to 444 light years away from Earth. Despite what many believe, there are over 800 beautiful blue stars within the Pleiades cluster. On a super clear night, you can see many of the stars with the naked eye. A sure sign you're of Pleiadian origin, or at least carry some form of Pleiadian DNA, is feeling drawn to the Pleiades constellation. The constellation only formed over 100 million years ago, which is super young in comparison to the overall average age of the universe. Now, as the stars within the Taurus constellation are burning a hot luminous blue, souls originating from Pleiades are said to be young, or at least young in terms of soul age. They could still be hundreds, if not thousands, of years old, and Pleiades are known to live a very long life, like many other beings that are away from this planet. Now, are you a hybrid starseed? Many starseeds feel a connection with more than one starseed type. It's possible you've lived previous lives in other star systems and have collected a cluster of energy. And that finally concludes our episode on the Pleidaians. In our next episode, we will be discussing uh, the next type of star seeds, where we would go from the Pleiadians now to the Sirians, and then eventually the Orions, and 16 more. So we're gonna have a lot of episodes coming out in this podcast channel on star seeds. Um, Especially over the next several days. There will be another episode late this evening, between 8 and 10 p.m. at Eastern Time. I have a doctor's appointment here shortly, so we will be having this later on, where I will be discussing the Syrians next. I hope you enjoyed the podcast of the Pleiadians. I apologize for the cutting in and out due to the bad Wi-Fi, and I know I may have to restart the podcast for the Pleiadians again later on for uh, all of it, in case it was cut out. So I will go over that later on. But hope to catch you back here later on this evening, between 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for where we will now discuss the Syrians. Thank you for joining the Starseeds podcast. Be safe, be well, and blessed be. I am the Starseed of Orion.